Hi there, this is a confused Confucius. A thought I would like to start our session off today is this. Advice is all around us. How do you know if the advice is good or the advice is bad? Especially when it's coming from the outside there. I'd like to propose this also. Instead of looking for advice out there about yourself, why not ask yourself about yourself? Because you're the one that lives with yourself 24/7. Not your wife, not your husband, not your aunts, not your uncles, not your grandmother, not your grandfather. Just you. So how do you judge good advice from bad advice? That's what I'm going to be talking about in the videos to come. The Confused Confucius series is about wisdom that I have found in my 59 years of living on this planet Earth. Naturally is beautiful. Naturally, if those of you that believe in the concepts of God in your faiths, whatever that might be it Catholic, Protestant, tongue talker, no tongue talker, Muslim, Buddhist, Hindu, and for those of you who are capitalists, the prophets of Donald Trump and all the other trillionaires that'll be growing here pretty soon. At one time, millionaire was a big deal. Now it's like, oh, billionaire is like the common word now. But advice, good advice, bad advice. How is one to know? Well, I'm going to cover that in this video. But I'll be covering other topics concerning how do we communicate to another person we really love when we can't hear what we're really saying to ourselves. If I can't hear what I'm saying to myself, I live what I'm saying to myself, I get into trouble. And what I say to myself comes from an entity within me called pride, ego, because of Mr. Freud and his term ego. You know, why didn't he say he went somewhere? He went. No, it had to be ego because Freud said so. So this is a confused Confucius saying, how do you know good advice from bad advice? Here it is, folks. Here is the gem. Here's a diamond. And you don't have to go through encyclopedias of $10,000 seminars by Robert Allen or Donald Trump or Robert Kiyosaki. Rich dad, poor dad. Make your dad poor as my dad gets richer and richer by you buying my infomercials. Good advice, bad advice. Here it is, folks. Good advice will empower you. Bad advice will disempower you. Good advice will empower you. Bad advice will disempower you. Good advice comes from yourself. Bad advice comes from the outside ignorant. Now, if you know somebody that has great advice, and you know it's workable, it's true because they lived it and they tried it, then talk to that person by all means. Well, don't talk to the other 99% that don't know what you're talking about when it comes to good advice, bad advice, because they're going to think their bad advice is the greatest advice they're going to give to you because that's all they got. Right? And how do I come to this thinking? Well, someone's advised me to say, go sell your house, you know, get ready to pack up and go. Now I realize my problem is not about packing up and getting it go. All I need is just get $5,000, $50,000 in my hand right here and I'll be okay. How hard can it be to get $50,000? Well, the problem is I've been living in my naive optimism. So what I should have been doing these last couple of days is really be thinking with my head ideas and concepts where I can get some money coming in. Instead of, oh me, I lost my house in foreclosure, what am I going to do? I've been doing that for 59 years of my life, folks. It doesn't work. Now I realize I have the answers in me. All I need to do is just help 5,000 people who pays me $1 a piece, and I do that in one day. If I have the right place and right location, there are 10,000 ways to make money instead of thinking about, okay, what am I going to sell now to move out of here? You see, if you're thinking about what I have to sell to move out of here, you can't be using the brain power, energy power that's going there to shoot it over here, when over here is where all the beauty of creativity lies. The possibility and the reality of money comes in the blink of an eye with the right idea at the right time. And who creates the right idea at the right time? The right ideas at the right time only created by one person only. In my case, me. In your case, you. You have to create it. You have to think it through. You have to know how to think. And people gives me advice. All they know how to think is, well, I sold my shit, so you have to go and sell your shit. Well, I'm sorry, Buster, you sold your shit. That's because you sold your shit, but I don't have to sell my shit yet. Not because I'm smarter than anyone else. It's just that creativity usually yields more money than selling shit. And that's why corporations go bad, because they haven't put enough research and development dollars to keep new things coming, because life is moving, is always going forward. No innovation, no research and development. So as a result, they stagnate, they die. Good advice, bad advice. Good advice will empower you. Bad advice will disempower you. It'll disavow you. It'll take your guts out and wring it dry and say, okay, go and sell your shit and sleep in the streets. I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend the Confucius way and think and create an idea that will generate income. And only stay with that idea until the plan is substantiated or the phone calls are made and their money is in the PayPal account or money is in my hand. Not trying to sound like these TV evangelists here, but it's really exciting when you're operating in your gifts. Because when you're operating in your gifts, no one can stop you because you are you. And when one is in their own uniqueness, they're unstoppable. People may try to stop them, but they're unstoppable. Who can stop someone who's living uniquely? No one. Good advice, bad advice. Good advice will empower. Bad advice will disempower. Got it? Talk to you again soon. This is a confused Confucius here.